They're actually
mimicking me.
bring out case. Okay.
Oh, somebody's coming. And there he is.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I had to save someone from the burning bus.
Burning bus. Okay.
I'm so glad he's here.
Hero?
Hero, he's a criminal within the police department.
He just saved children from a burning fire, so.
You look snazzy. Why do you look like you're going to a wedding?
Can't believe he's actually got a fucking suit on.
Dapper as fuck.
What civil case?
Now look at you, Jason. You're not even in a suit.
You don't go to.
Yeah, I can't afford a suit.
Why are you wearing jeans to a court case?
Because I can't afford anything else.
Just remember what happened.
Naked shoplifting.
What happened.
Mr. Andrews, are you part of this case?
No, ma'am. I just like to inject myself into scenarios that I'm not a part of.
Are you attempting to represent Miss Francer?
No, ma'am, I was a part of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that was a genuine question. You didn't give me a genuine answer.
He issued me, not the commanding officer.
It was a joke, ma'am.
Well, if it was a joke, I think somebody would have laughed, and I did not hear any laughing.
Wow.
Are you?
Well,
I'm just looking at the docket because I'm actually trying to find out. Are you being called as a witness by Francis or the other side?
Yeah, Francis is calling me as a witness.
Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, okay. Well, hold on now. You weren't listed.
It's fine. I don't really need him, anyways.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Really write correctly, so he wouldn't have been able to respond to that document.
How the hell is he a cop?
Well, I mean...
Is that why you didn't file a report?
Okay, don't... You know what? I'm gonna lose it before it even starts.
Are we free to just like start talking shit, Your Honor?
No, we're not free. Don't
okay.
Don't talk to each other, please, for the love of God.
That's my favorite part.
Secondly, let's just go ahead and get started, all right? I'm gonna call this court case into session here. I'm gonna read the statement of claim. First and final warning: contempt charges. Do not cuss unless you're giving testimony and you're quoting. No outbursts, shit like that. Excuse my language. I'll read the statement here.
Just out of curiosity, ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, it appears the entire premise of this case is based on medical reports that don't seem to be filed in the court case. Could you explain?
Let me see.
I don't know anything about law.
Damn.
Yes, we're gonna go over that. Let me read the statement of claim, and then we're gonna go over relief, which I think should answer your question. Okay, Francis?
Okay.
All right, let's do that. On 25th of January 2020, Jason Meyers, in the process of evading police, was tased and detained. Mr. Meyers was denied his rights to medical attention, was not read his Miranda rights, never given the option for legal representation, and his fines were doubled due to police error. Furthermore, he was not asked if he wanted to plead guilty or innocent to the charges at hand. While serving his jail sentence, Mr. Meyers fell, could not get up, and as a result, spent 20 months longer than necessary. What? Okay. Throughout all of this, Mr. Meyers still had taser prongs embedded in his skin, as no medical assistance was called by the police officers after arrest, and no DOC officers were available for treatment in the prison. Officers continued to insist that they had no jurisdiction to help Mr. Meyers inside the prison throughout. When released, Mr. Meyers was taken back to the city by his friend, and EMS treated his taser prong wounds at the hospital with doctors. Relief is $50,000 general damages, $25,000 punitive damages. Plaintiff, can you be more specific for general and punitive? What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Your Honor, give me one moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, my client is a instructor at the drift driving school, and for several weeks he was unable to work after this incident due to the taser prong incident. I can talk to the medical records as well if you'd like.
Okay. Do you know what punitive damages are?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. What are they?
Essentially, they're a deterrent to make sure that in this incident, if found guilty, that the police officer does not repeat those actions.
Right. So I want you to elaborate why you're requesting punitive damages. Because you feel officers did something that you don't want to be repeated?
Exactly. I mean,
Okay.
My client has gone through some significant mental trauma due to this, and realistically, as a lawyer who represents people down in the Mission Row PD cells every day, I would like to be actually called as a lawyer to represent them.
Okay, just making sure that you know why you're putting those now. As far as general damages, elaborate to me for those as well.
Yeah, sure. So my client was tased in the back directly. The taser prongs were left in for a significant amount of time, which caused extreme discomfort to the point where he could no longer sit down in his car. So when he was employed at drift school, he was no longer able to actually take people on drifting lessons, so he had to essentially just sit out and watch without being able to demonstrate, which they get paid about, I believe it's $5,000 per lesson.
Okay. All right. Francis, do you have any questions before we just go into opening and questions?
No, I guess not.
Okay, we're just gonna let it play out and then see where things go. Go ahead and do your opening.
Okay.
Sorry, plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, we're here today to discuss a blatant breach of my client's rights. His right to a lawyer, his right to a bench trial, his right to plead guilty or innocent to charges, and his proper right to police processing. Furthermore, we're here to discuss several malpractice and breaches of SOPs by the officer in question, Francis Franco, excuse me.
Jay.
This failure occurred on scene during processing and even while my client was in Bolingbrook. You'll hear today how my client was required to crawl his way out of prison into his friend's car to get himself to hospital, after the PD, DOC and EMS failed to provide medical services while he was in jail. And finally, you'll hear how my client was fined twice by Officer Francis and the money was never returned, even after the mistake was identified and reported to the officer. Thank you.
Right, defense, would you like to do an opening?
No, I'm fine.
Right. Plaintiff, either go over evidence or call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, let's just go over the evidence that's been filed.
Mm-hmm.
So can I start off with the police report, which was not filed?
Well, if it wasn't filed, then it's not an evidence, is it?
Can I speak to why this was not filed?
Nope. You can address it in your closing, but if it's not an evidence, you can't talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at evidence. Sorry, one moment. Evidence 3, which is evidence JSON.png. Please note at the top my client's bank records, which show he was billed twice for $3,330.
Okay.
And please note the my client reaching out to the officers with a bit of crude language, I may add, but he did reach out in regards to this.
Okay.
And evidence 4, which is the other image, which is evidence Wallace. Please note Sorry, Yana, someone's talking.
And someone in
please,
the gallery, if you're in the gallery, please don't talk.
Boba, shut
please.
the fuck up.
Sir, who's Boba? Before you start placing blame.
Quiet, please. Let him talk.
Please note in this evidence that all efforts were made by the friend of the defendant, Wally, or Wallace is his name, who will be called up today, and he'll be going over this evidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for the evidence. I'd like to call my first witness.
All right, I have a question about your evidence.
Yes, sure thing.
Where is it?
I'm going to ask you, did your client reach out to police once he was released from prison to receive that money back, or did he only call?
Give me one moment, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I called while there using the payphone, and I was receiving no response. Then I had actually asked Francis about it, and then he left.
While we were down there, or back at the station?
Back at the station, passing.
Yes, Your Honor. He did make an attempt. So first of all, he used the payphone to ask the officers while at Bolingbrook, and then after he got treatment from the EMS, he did actually approach the officer himself down at MRPD.
Okay. All right, go ahead and call your first witness. Thank you.
First witness I would like to call is... go with Wallace. Wallace Veloci.
That's me.
For reference, I'll be calling him Wally.
Okay.
Ready, sir. Will you please raise your left hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under penalty of perjury, so help you Mitch.
I swear.
Your Honor, this witness has been sworn in.
Thank you. We'll begin questioning.
Thank you, Your Honor. How you doing today, Wally?
I'm doing alright, you know.
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
Can you please state to the court how you know the defendant, Jason Meyers? Sorry, the, your friend, Jason Meyers.
Oh, me and Jason, we met through mutual friends a while back, and we've been friends ever since. And I also work with him at Overboost, so.
Good. On this day, how did you know that Jason was in jail?
Well, I was unfortunately also involved in the incident when he was arrested, and so I checked the newspaper, and I saw that he was in prison, so I went to go visit him, and then that's when he was in the visitation room, complaining about being hurt and everything else. Yeah.
Okay, so when you arrived at Bolingbrook, Jason was in the visitation area waiting for you?
He actually just walked in as I walked in, luckily.
Okay, and when he walked in what way was he hurt?
Oh, he was limping. You can tell he was hurt. Honestly, I thought he was joking from the story.
All right, since he doesn't have an attorney, I'm going to probably be interjecting here. Don't ask him speculative questions. You know better than that.
Was there anything unusual about Jason when he came through the door?
He was limping, sir.
And after you began talking to Jason, did he get on the phone?
No. He was complaining about, blacking out a little bit and stuff like that, so I called, tried to call for EMS or help. Nothing really came through, though.
What happened when you called up for EMS?
I was pretty much ignored for a good while, waited a good portion of time between each call, didn't want to, just make a bunch of phone calls over and over and over again. And then someone finally replied, but they weren't really being any helpful,
Did Jason fall over during his wait-in visitation?
Yeah, he did. He definitely. That's when I started calling, because honestly, at first I thought he was fucking with me. Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. At first I thought he was messing around with me a little bit, trying to trick me or something, because this was kind of crazy, He's a prisoner. He was treated like an animal. It blew me away, to be honest.
What happened once Jason was released?
I helped him back into my vehicle. We drove down to the courthouse because we called you, I believe. and then you called the EMS. Then we went over to the hospital to remove the, taser prongs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Was there a lawyer on duty on the day?
Oh yes, you were. We called you.
At this time, that's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
Okay,
Do I step down?
defense? Nope. Defense, would you like to cross-examine this witness?
Thank you.
Alright, sir, you may step down. You're excused.
All right.
Plaintiff Kayla and you... Hold on. Nope, okay, never mind. Can you just call your next witness? Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to call up Jason Meyers.
How'd I do? Did I do good?
Hi.
I did I do good? Okay.
I think so.
Good evening, Mr. Myers. May you please raise your left hand?
I think I'm going to call Francis as
Do you
well.
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's
and on
probably
penalty
for the best.
penalties of perjury. So help you airborne.
Do you want an
I
orange?
do.
I mean,
Your
an
Honor, this
orange.
witness has been sworn.
Yeah, I would love an orange.
Okay, it's alright.
They're one of my favorite fruits.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. It's one of the small
Jason, on
baby
the
orange.
25th of January, were you arrested and tased by Officer Francis Francer?
I was.
Can you point out Officer Francer to me?
And in
Thank
the
you.
wedding suit.
Once arrested, were you taken to Pillbox Medical for taser prong removal?
No.
Stop leading your witness. That is going to be stricken from the record. Asking it in a different way.
Sure. Were you ever given medical treatment while the officers were had you under arrest?
No.
While you were in the holding cells, did EMS ever treat you?
No.
While you were in Bolingbrook, did the EMS ever treat you?
No.
When you arrived at MRPD, were you placed... excuse me, sorry, one moment. When you arrived at MRPD, did you ask for a lawyer?
No.
Were you ever read your Miranda rights?
No.
It wasn't us. Never mind.
I got that one too.
Were you asked in regard to the charges placed on you if you
What?
pled guilty or innocent?
No.
Were you asked if you wanted a bench trial to contest your charges?
I was not.
How many times were you charged by the officer before you boarded the bus to the jail?
Twice here.
Sorry, can you just repeat that? I didn't hear that.
Twice.
Thank you. Were you ever refunded the second charge, being $3,300?
No.
Once you arrived at Bolingbrook, what occurred?
I arrived at Bolingbrook. I had left my cell, and I instantly began to feel woozy. I was blacking out. So at which point I made my way to the visiting area where the payphone is. I had phoned 911 to let them know I was blacking out. Received no response.
Yeah, and then did you make your way over to the visitation area?
Yes, I said, and I made my way to visitation to use the payphone.
And when you arrived at visitation, was someone waiting for you?
Stop leading your witness.
Was Wally waiting at visitation when you arrived?
Yes.
Did Wally call EMS for you at that point?
After I had fallen over, yes.
Did EMS ever attend Bolingbrook to help you?
No.
Did the police ever
Uh-oh.
attend
You,
Bolingbrook to help you?
Can you just repeat that?
Yes, sure. Did any police officers attend Bolingbrook to help you?
No.
How did you leave Bolingbrook at the end of your sentence?
I had to be helped out of the front by Wally.
And where did Wally take you?
To the courthouse.
And is that where EMS? Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Did EMS treat you at the courthouse for taser prongs?
They came, they put me on a backboard, and then brought me to a pillbox for treatment.
And taser prongs were removed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Defense, would you like to cross this witness?
I have one more question, if I may, Your Honor.
Oh, 1 second, Francis. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, we have some more direct questioning here.
Jason, you stated that you did not ask for a lawyer, is that correct?
Stop leading your witness.
Did you ask for a lawyer?
No, I was, everything happened so fast.
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you are not his lawyer, but did you ask this question? Stenographer, did he ask this question?
We did, Your Honor.
Okay, don't ask that question again then.
Throughout the process of being processed down in the cells, were you offered legal counsel?
No.
No more questions, Your Honor.
The same shit.
Alright, defense, you may cross.
Thanks for getting that one across.
Hello,
That's
sir.
all right.
How's it going, Francis?
Here we go.
What questions were you asked that were incriminating to the case, sir?
None.
Okay, thank you.
What?
Huh?
Does that make sense to you?
Okay, plaintiff, you may redirect.
Not this time, Your Honor. We're all good with that.
Okay, sir, you may step down. Go ahead and call your next witness.
Your Honor, am I able to call Francis Francer if he is happy to take the stand?
Did you list him
I
as a
think
witness?
he just fucked me.
I did not, Your Honor.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what he was talking about.
Okay, did you call any other witnesses?
That is all for us. We're resting at this time.
Alright, defense, go ahead and call your, well, you didn't list any witnesses. If you'd like to come testify, you may do so at this time.
Asked, I thought it had to do with, like, with arrest.
Do we get a closing statement?
Yes.
I don't need to ask anybody, thank you.
Okay, would you like to give a testimony?
I guess so. Does that affect the closing statement at all?
No, you can still make your closing statement, but since you don't have a lawyer, you would just give your eyewitness testimony of the events that occurred.
Oh, of course, but would can I not just say everything in the closing statement? Is that all held in the same way?
No, because you would be creating material fact and introducing evidence. So anything that you want to say regarding what you saw, heard, or did would not be considered without your testimony. And that will open you up to cross-examination.
Fine, I don't want to say anything, thank you.
Okay. Well. Does defense rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Let's go ahead and move into closing. Plaintiff, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think he
This
fucked
is
me.
pretty clear cut to me. As we've heard today, my client's rights.
I know, his
have been
testimony.
breached. He was never read his Miranda rights. He was never offered the opportunity to even call a lawyer. He wasn't offered the right to plead guilty or innocent at any time. And furthermore, he was never given proper medical treatment, which should be made available to every single person who was arrested. That is all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Defense?
Yes. Today, what we've seen is a lazy, is it a fence team over here trying to make me look bad when I've done nothing wrong today, guys. Absolutely nothing. I did not need to read this man his rights, as he was not questioned. He had a right to a lawyer and a fair trial. If deemed necessary, he could fight it in court at any time. There was no questions needed, and he was processed. They also have no medical reports of any of this happening. So, what can I say? There's no evidence, guys. Thanks.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm just going to deliberate and take a look at the evidence I do have. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
God.
On page 2.
Listen.
I don't know. They're crazy.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Blame everything on Francis, and I was being trained by Tony.
Wait,
This
do
is
we-
screwed up, guys. Well, technically, he fell over in the DLC, so shouldn't they be in trouble? I'm confused.
You didn't fall over in the DLC. What the fuck?
I think it means in Bolingbroke.
Tony did it. Sue
I-
him.
Huh?
Do I have to
He's
sue
on
Tony
holidays,
now?
though. He didn't do nothing.
How would the medical report? Didn't even get on it, did?
Yeah, look, it wasn't worth talking about. Essentially, the EMS involved literally stepped down, and then we had about 5 days of going back and forth with the DA, with Surge at Pillbox, with judges, all trying to get this bloody form.
Whatever question he asked me completely
And
fucked
then-
me up, by the way.
I have no idea what that meant.
Thought it
And
meant,
then
like,
essentially,
the
What was
criminal,
the
like,
question?
it was something about incriminating. I don't know if it was on his end or the fact of the crime that I committed to receive. That's why I'm not
I wouldn't-
completely
I wouldn't
sure.
ignore
He didn't
you, I
have to
wouldn't
read
pay
you your
attention.
rights because he didn't ask you any questions.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he was
Never
going
mind.
with.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that doesn't kind of prove that he just rushed the process, double fined him, and didn't really care and threw him in a prison cell?
yeah. If the
I'm
bastard billed me
just
twice and
saying.
then laughed about it.
I'm just saying. You know, ignored that he had taser prongs in his back, blah, 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 blah. Didn't ask him any questions because he didn't care, you know? You're pretty shitty police work.
Premise, I guess.
I guess that speaks to the
I don't know,
police
I
work.
think it's a
Then
toss-up.
Your voice keeps cutting in and out.
Oh, does it? Fuck.
Person wearing a bag.
Yep.
There are no masks in court.
I don't know, this entire court case seems pretty damn rushed at the moment.
Yeah.
If,
I mean,
if anything, it's
been
probably
about-
Kiki face or something.
Rush, it's been about a month and a half.
Oh,
makes
yeah, that
sense,
I can
okay.
understand.
Oh, so you couldn't refile
No.
against the proper
no.
party.
We do have the same feminine features, but yeah.
well, it's copper.
How you going? Standing next to Marinara head over here.
Who the fuck is listening to
Come on,
Lose It?
it's hair dye, alright?
Ah, that mustache.
Wait,
Was-
is that
did
a
I
bell
just,
pepper in
Did I
there?
just hear
Yeah,
lose
bell pepper.
control?
Nice
I hate you guys.
jeans, man. Don't you have no money or something?
No, I have no money. You took it all from me, Francis.
Maybe you shouldn't buy shitty Nikes for children and get real pants next time.
I couldn't
That's
afford
what
it.
I was saying.
You want,
Trying
bro?
to
I
get
couldn't.
paid from
You took all
overbooked.
my
Come
money.
on.
You're
I can't
trying
get
to
paid.
scam money.
I can't get paid from overboosting.
What do you
Why
need,
didn't
Royal?
buy him a suit?
I
was
didn't
jokingly
know he
saying
was,
coffee
didn't have any
because
money.
I'm
Like, I
very
thought he'd be
tired.
okay, okay?
Oh,
I thought maybe
It
he
was
had
a
some in his
joke.
closet or
No,
something.
he left me with $12.
I don't have any, sorry.
He took my
It's
money
alright,
and
I don't
spent it all on
drink it
fucking
anyways.
donuts.
I don't think
kind
I'm
of
allowed to have coffee on this side of the
He was
bar.
right correctly. How's he a cop?
God, now I want donuts.
What a dumb ass.
Honestly, same. I could go for a donut right now.
I could
That
too,
sounds
honestly.
amazing.
Francis, you
Oh
got
my
donuts?
God.
I'll take you for a donut, lady. You want my donuts? They taste good.
Let me. Can I have one now?
So now he's sexually harassing a lady in court. Okay.
Wait,
Oh.
is it actual donuts? Because I'll take the risk.
No, I think it's his.
Francis will straight
Asshole.
ask her if she wants to
I
fight.
got some
He's
cream
not gonna
donuts. They're my
go around it.
favorite.
I fucking love Francis so much.
Serious? I just eat cream donuts. What the fuck, guys?
I can't
If I
see
was
him.
gonna bone anybody here to be Bobby, I want a
I'm not the
promotion.
DA.
Yeah. Meet at the beach at 12 o'clock. I know.
Oh.
Oh my God! Put it back on, please. Please.
Oh, here comes the bad
Okay.
news.
This is what's about to happen is unorthodox, and I know we did closing already,
Don't
but
push me.
but Francis, I am going to have you tell me your side of the story since this is civil. Obviously, Fifth Amendment doesn't apply here, and that will
Okay.
open you up to cross. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and come up here, get sworn in, and tell me what happened.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Is there literally nothing you can
Andrew's
do
not
about
a
that?
lawyer.
This is probably good for us.
Andrew's just not a lawyer. All right.
Well, no. If it was good, if it was good for us, she wouldn't be doing it.
Chance, Jason.
All right, go ahead and raise your left hand for me, sir.
Put me in, coach.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Jess?
Yes, I do. Of course.
Alrighty, Your Honor,
To the
this witness
best of
has been
my
sworn in.
remembrance. Okay,
All right.
so where do we start?
Well, Andrews is just gonna question you. So go ahead,
The
Andrews.
plaintiffs go first because I never got a chance to.
Well, it's basically like he's his own witness, right?
Well, the plaintiffs go first, and then after that, after they rest, then Andrews can come up.
All right, plaintiffs, go ahead.
Come
Fuck him up, fam.
Fucking shred
Thank you,
him.
Your Honor.
Fuck him up, fam.
You can still cross though.
Okay.
How are you doing today, Francis?
Fantastic, actually. I got to wear my suit for the first time in a long time. I feel great.
On the 25th of January, did you arrest Jason Meyers?
Yes.
Did you tase him on that day during the arrest?
I don't recall.
When Jason was transported to MRPD, did you ever read him his Miranda rights?
No, like I said, he didn't have any questioning done. We found his radio that incriminated him because they were still on the same channel. He's so dumb.
While in the cells in processing, did you at any time offer him a lawyer?
No, he wasn't questioned.
Did you at any time offer him the right to plead guilty or innocent to the charges?
He can do that in the court of law.
So just for clarification, that's a no?
I said he could do that in the court of law. I did not ask if he was guilty or not. I processed him because I had enough evidence. And then it was left unmarked that he pled guilty. Yes.
Were you the officer who issued the state bills to my client?
No, I issued one bill to your client.
Do you know how the two withdrawals from the state would have hit his account for the same amount at the same time?
Maybe a malfunction or something. I don't know. I didn't do both of them, though. I know that.
Playing scuff. Are you serious?
Sometimes
That's alright, you asked him for it afterward.
That's what happens.
Did you at any time take my client via Pillbox Medical for treatment?
No, I didn't.
Did you organize taser prong removal in the cells?
No, I didn't. I don't recall him even being tased.
Sorry, what?
Middle of a highway.
Yes, from my recollection, he reversed his vehicle out into our vehicle, and made our police vehicle crash in the middle of a chase as an accessory to a crime. And then he acted like he didn't do anything. And from what I remember, I'm pretty sure he just surrendered.
Not true, I ran.
Why did you not fill in anything in the police report?
Because if it went to court, I knew I could remember everything.
One moment, Your Honor. you have anything, Nick?
Not that I can think of.
I fled from that, but
Yeah, no, it's all good. That's all it from us, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, would you like to cross?
Oh, sure.
Hey, Towns.
Francis?
dude, I literally fled from that incident,
How you doing, Francis?
Pretty good.
which I was caught.
Francis, are you aware of your SOPs?
Everyone does.
Yes, I'm quite remembering of my standard operating procedures, my friend.
Fantastic. Is reading of Miranda rights at every situation required?
Nope. It's not even a breach of their rights unless I do questioning and use that against them. It even says it in the rights, Tony. Jesus.
Francis. That's it. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Premise. Good job, Tony.
Would you like to redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to switch over. Tony, would you like to direct?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Francis. How you doing?
Francis. Pretty good.
Do you remember the day in question that we're here for, Francis?
Yes.
Do you know how we came in contact with the gentleman that's suing the state?
Yes, there was a robbery. We were pursuing people at relatively high speeds, and he reversed out and made us crash into a wall. Me and you, Tones.
That's right. Did we ever recontact this individual, Francis?
How do you mean that?
After we crashed.
But what do you mean recontact? What do you mean by
Oh,
this?
did we see them again? See him again?
Yes. We put him in handcuffs and took him to the cells.
Okay. Did he seem injured at that time?
Not at all. In fact, he never asked for a medicine ever.
Do you remember a conversation with him?
Well, which part of it?
Any conversation with him? Was he talkative?
Conversation. No, not really.
Should have talked more about the
We heard
scene.
his radio, so we got the radio channel and confirmed everything through that.
Okay. And why didn't you write a police report?
Because I knew this. And that is also a thing that our police reports cannot be used as evidence. We need to come here and testify. Otherwise, it'll just be thrown out.
Good job, Francis.
Yeah.
Are you aware of human rights, Francis?
Yes, I guess so.
Are you aware of the DOC?
Yes, I know the DOC.
Okay. Do they have an infirmary?
Yes, they have a medical bay. In fact, one of the best medical bay facilities on the planet.
So earlier you did say that you are aware of our SOPs, right?
Yes.
Are you aware that EMS don't go into Bolingbrook Penitentiary?
I haven't been trained that far yet, Tones.
Okay. That's all, Your Honor.
Would you like to cross?
Yes, we would, Your Honor.
Okay.
When you were arresting my client, did he try and run from you?
I don't think so. No, I don't. He acted like he wasn't a part of the situation. That was his guys. He pretended to reverse into his own accident, got out and acted like he didn't mean it. That was his guys, man.
While you have someone arrested and in custody, do you have a duty of care to them?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, if somebody's sitting there bleeding or asking for medicine, I'll give them medicine.
Did you tase my client?
Asked and answered.
Yeah, I've already answered this.
Stenographer?
Yes, ma'am. He did ask, and the answer was no.
Okay, and when was this asked? During his direct, or? during
Yes,
cross?
he did it.
Who was that?
It's been asked in the initial direct as well as Andrew's asked.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
You know that lying on the stand is an illegal offense, right?
Yes, I'm well aware of how it works, sir.
Okay, just making sure. That's all, Your Honor.
Would you like to redirect, Tony?
Nope.
Right. Francis, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Did Mr. Myers ask you for legal representation?
No, he did not. I said whenever I process people, I say you have the right to an attorney and you can talk to them and do that through the court system if you feel this is unjust. But considering we had all the evidence processed, ready to go without any questioning needed, he was processed. So he had the right to an attorney at all times. I didn't prevent him from getting one.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I speak to that point he just made?
Do you have an objection?
Talked around it.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, Francis stated that he did not read the Miranda rights, it wasn't necessary at the time, but then just stated that he always says he offers the opportunity for a lawyer.
Again, Your Honor, we didn't ask him any incriminating questions. We don't have to advise him of his rights. And this is like the 19,000th time this individual's been arrested. I'm sure he knows that he can ask for a lawyer.
Just to reiterate what I say about the lawyers, I say when I process somebody at the ending, when I'm putting them through to DOC, that they can still contact a lawyer afterwards and have a court case filed if they feel it was unjust or they were not guilty. Which is sort of what's happening here, I guess. But clearly, he was guilty.
Well played.
Okay. Court's in recess. Please whisper.
Bitches.
I really...
Those bastards, they know they fucking...
They
I went in the highway and they fucking tased me, bastards.
Yeah, now I feel like I need a coffee.
Fucking back dimples.
I mean, I guess the whole processing system's changed. It's guilty until innocent. Now you just throw them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it seems a little...
It seems kind of weird.
It's
Talk
all good.
about
I'll
the scene
just throw in my bar license at this point, I guess. Like, there's no need for a lawyer.
Does that mean I'm now the CEO of Temple and Stone? Royal, I got promoted.
Yeah, potentially.
Nice. Nice, Nick.
Jesus, that's what we're talking about right now.
Well, I
Something to
mean,
lighten the mood.
PD has made a joke of
Well,
this
the
case, why can't
The only
we?
thing I can see is the fact that we can't prove... Excuse me, which they did. I didn't give myself up on the scene. I got out, talked to him, tried to talk my way out. And I drove away.
Your voice box.
Oh my god. Upon realizing that I wasn't getting away, talking my way out of said situation, I then...
Who
You know,
wants
it's
to
still
tell him?
bad. Yeah, it's still bad.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
We lost you at you then.
Oh, and then I fled after realizing that I was not going to be getting out of that situation. But
Who's this stenographer? I can't say the word, but you know what I mean.
No idea.
He looks familiar.
Oh, wait, what? Me?
No,
No,
the
stenographer.
Oh, sorry.
the guy who's taking all the notes.
I don't recognize him at all. He's not even dressed appropriate for court.
sounds like Chris McGraw, but he's dead.
Yep, he's super dead. It could be his brother. His brother reached out to me.
Oh, really?
You did?
He did, yeah, yesterday. About suing the police.
Well, hopefully he has better luck, because I have bad feeling about this one.
Suing the police is a pretty big
Yeah, it feels very
rip.
one-sided, you know?
Yeah.
Really hope I'm not targeted after this.
I'm never gonna be. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so
God
sorry.
damn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's an accident. I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
toxic.
Woman beater.
Oh, come on. You just wanted me alone, huh?
That was powerful.
Oh shit.
You need to first let me go.
I'm actually surprised they're taking so long out there. Oh, speaking of the devil.
Me
too.
We lose.
Alright, call this case back into session. Defense, are you ready? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So taking a look at everything here, I got both sides of the story from everyone who was on scene. Well, the main people that were on scene here. As far as Mr. Myers being injured, I have absolutely no evidence of it. Mr. Myers, I believe you. I believe that you were injured. I believe that you were tased. But without a medical report, I can do absolutely nothing about that. And that should have been added to this case. No. First, you can ask me questions after the case is over.
Okay.
As far as being denied a right to legal counsel, I also don't have any evidence of this.
I mean, he's here with a lawyer, sir, ma'am.
Wow, Tony, let her speak. Don't call her sir, asshole.
Guilty or not guilty is something that Mr. Francis, if you didn't give him the option to plead, you should have. But I also don't have any proof of this. It is he said, she said at this very moment in time. With all that being said, I can't find you liable for any of these damages. Let's see. As far as medical assistance goes, if a prisoner is asking for it, or sorry, I would say a processee in MRPD, if you're asking for it and it is denied, obviously, you know, that is not good. But as far as I can tell, again, I don't have any proof of this. I don't have any medical records, anything like that. Officers themselves are not required to render any medical care. So with that being said, like I said, Mr. Francis, I do not find you liable for any of these damages. Court case is adjourned. Thank you for coming today.
Cool. To wear a microphone in it.
Thanks.
What
Thank
the
you, Your
fuck?
Honor.
Do I have to wear
Thank
a
you, Your
microphone
Honor.
everywhere I go or something?
Hey, but about your client, it was about charging double. We can reimburse him for the.
Yeah, we'll fix that, obviously.
Thank you. Real quick
Doesn't-
one. So if
Doesn't
I can
the
get the
burden of proof fall on
EMSs,
them?
if I can get the EMSs to submit a report on this,
How is that even?
because
How can you?
they have all the information that he was indeed
but how am I supposed
tased.
to
Can we
provide something in a
get
fucking jail
Mr.
cell?
Francis for perjury?
Work on getting
no,
that,
the med-
and
the medical-
we'll
the
talk
medical
about
course
it.
is fine. Like, I
Okay,
understand.
just for
Because-
reference, I went to a judge, I went to Surge Cross, I went to the EMS chief, and I got pushed around for the paper that was required to file it.
Yeah,
And then by the time I filed it,
my-
the EMS worker had actually stepped down, and
Yeah,
it was a shit show.
You know those medical
I know, I'm
records
just
aren't
letting
going to
you
tell
know.
me who tased him, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
I
there's
know.
no like I don't. Yeah.
so I mean, perjury. on those grounds, still no, because
Perjury
maybe
still
like
no,
I
'cause
said,
he's a cop.
Sir, is there a reason you're still in my courtroom?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Hey, don't let your client go. He has to get reimbursed for double the fine.
Yeah. Come back, Jason, if you want to get your 3,300 back.
So, let me do that. You have any questions?
No, actually, you're right. It doesn't carry over, so
it
make sure
doesn't,
you
yeah.
get with Judge Katya at the other city sometime.
Yeah,
She's
so,
always
yeah,
awake.
we'll be at the
so-
other city.
All right, yeah, no, sounds good. It just all
and
depends on
get
train ticket.
reimbursement. Yeah, just you'll catch it. And if you find me, I'll do it too.
All right, cool.
And then if there's any other judges there, just tell them to reach out to one of us, and if we're awake, we'll send a message by.
All right, and just as a question for like self-awareness, as to providing proof of something that happens to me in a jail cell, there's not very much I can do. The burden of proof kind of falls on them.
That's true. So are you trying to tell me that the officer was lying?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so if he was, let's say hypothetically he was, what are we? How are we supposed to believe that? Like we don't know.
I know, I understand. So like just therefore, so if it ever
that's
happens
like
again, there's
calling
just
a
no.
cop out to your yard and saying, this guy was inside my yard, and he's like, no, I never went in there, but he was. I don't have any proof.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fine. I understand the
It
ruling
is
and
what it
everything.
is,
I
you know
just
what I mean?
for future reference, if I ever get fucked again, then I just gotta kind of eat it.
I think
there's certain things. If you would have gotten that medical report, and I understand the loops you went through, right? But if you would have got that medical report and linked it to Francis, then I think you had a better chance.
I agree. If you have issues with medical reports, you need to be reaching out to us.
In the future, are we able to go to the extent of getting the taser prongs linked back to his actual taser? Is that something we can request? I'm not sure if we can even try something like that.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that really works. It's not like a bullet, it doesn't really have a casing. It's like
okay, because
you receive those projectiles back once you take the taser prongs out.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, because at that point, I don't think we could even because it was transport between Bolingbroke and getting them taken out, we wouldn't be able to do anything on that regard. I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have said that his friend tased him. All good. Yeah, just for reference, it looks like I believe there's another case against Francis Jason, and there's one more that's in filing at the moment. So
I believe I'm the judge in that one.
Yeah, there's a secondary one that's coming up as well, I believe. So we'll keep our eyes out open for that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not so much worried about the money. I don't need money.
Yeah, I
need it for food and stuff, but in terms of accountability.
No, that's fair. I appreciate your time, judges, once again.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Thanks.
So I guess for your guys' knowledge, so there is a cartridge that drops from our tasers, as well as there is a projectile that hits.
Well, I mean,
I got fucked.